Hey, what's going on, everybody? EnteRChazmaN here, and welcome back to my weekly roundup. This is kind of my opportunity or my one chance during the week or bi-weekly. I haven't decided however many I'm going to do this, but this is my opportunity to kind of talk about the things that have been interesting me and that I really want to kind of like delve into in terms of gaming and media and stuff like that. If you don't know, I just got back from vacation, went on a beautiful vacation with the family in Chicago, and while I was there, one thing I was watching a lot of and kind of learning more about was this whole Boogie 2988 situation. Now, previously on the last video, I briefly talked about Boogie 2988 and at least delved into my like history and past with his content and kind of why, what just in general why I was interested in his story at all. And once again, I'll say this is the last time I'll be talking Boogie 2988. This I feel like this whole chapter and story of his and for me is kind of wrapped and done. There's not really much else I want to like see from this guy, but I at least want to close it out because again, this is a former gaming YouTube channel that I liked and was subscribed to and was a fan of and consumed pretty regularly. Um, yeah, so again, I just wanted to preface that this is the last time we're talking about it, and I wanted to add that further context into why I'm talking about this in general, considering for the most part my channel is heavily gaming, and I'd like to think most of my content tends to be fairly family friendly, and yeah, try not to touch on too spicy of subjects, but I feel like this is about as spicy as we're gonna be getting. So, anyways, on the last video again, I explained my history, and since then, it's basically been debunked. We'll get in. I'll be showing you a lot of clips. It's basically been debunked with got people like Mutahar and more specifically Destiny, who have been brought on to Boogie and Keemstar's podcast, the LolCow podcast. So we're going to be delving into this. Let me just rattle off a couple other things. Oh yeah. So basically, we're going to be delving into Boogie 2988's polycythemia vera claims that he had, which is a form of cancer, from what I understand. Basically, at this point, he has been fired by Keemstar from the LolCow podcast. That'll be something we delve into as well. So basically, a lot of the stuff that's come out of this, Boogie has claimed that he has mailed his what is it? His gold button plaque that is like something that every YouTuber like myself would want. But he claims that was his most prized possession. He mailed that to Boogie, and they're going to be putting that up for some sort of auction for St. Jude's. Okay, so with all of that said, you kind of get what some of the stuff that's come out about it. Now, the best way I could find to essentially show the clips, I really feel like showing the clips and showing Boogie admit and kind of the way he lies is super important. So if you forgive me, for a lot of this, we're going to be watching a lot of the clips versus me. I mean, I'll interject and kind of step in and talk, but like I feel like you guys seeing how he lies and how he goes about lying, how often he lies, and just seeing the lengths that he goes to kind of justify some of the things that he claims and does is super important. So again, so if you are a fan of the H3 podcast or if you hate them, sorry, but we're going to be using a lot of the clips from them. I feel like they did a very good job of kind of time stamping and again, I did watch the LolCow podcast episode as a whole, but I don't know. Again, I'm trying to do this with haste. So, what do you say we go ahead and dive in? So, this episode of the H3 podcast was Boogie meltdown after faking cancer. So again, I watched this while on break, and or no, was this on break? No, this was a day ago. So this was a post vacation watch, but a lot of this other stuff had been happening while I was on break. So first off, once we go ahead and dive in, so first timestamp I'm going to show you guys is essentially Boogie getting into the St. Jude stuff about the plaque and the money he's going to be donating, and then also Destiny kind of beginning to show you him calling him out on his lies. So would you say we go ahead and dive in? Oh, I forgot to switch.
Accountable the most. I've raised money for St. Jude's in the past. I think it's a great charity. I've given money to St. Jude's very frequently. They're based out of Memphis. I like that they're in the South.
I don't believe
But they
him.
also have been found.
Oh, okay.
Destiny, check me on this.
So real quick, the four people here, or I guess I should say, the four people in on this LolCow podcast episode. So we got Boogie 2988 right here, the cancer patient in question. We got Killer Keemstar down here. A lot of these people have been on YouTube for a long time. You may know some of them. If not, I'm explaining it. We've got Destiny here, who is like a leftist YouTube commentary kind of debate. What do they call him? Debate pervert. Is that what they call him? Just someone who likes debating, which is fine. Nothing wrong with any of that. And then on the bottom right, he had some video problems. But I would say the one person on this episode, he's not like a permanent fixture on the Lolcal podcast, but the one I actually like his content and watch a lot of is Mutahar. Mutahar is just kind of, I think he's like friends with Keemstar, sort of. So Muta's on the bottom right. He was like on traveling and had video issues, so that's why it's only audio. Okay, so we know the players: Destiny, Mutahar, Keemstar, and Boogie. And then the bottom right, again, this is a clip from their podcast. So this is H3, or just H3. I still say H3. Apologies. All right, so here we go. Back into it.
Because I could be wrong. But I've been told that they give almost 100% of the money that you give goes directly to treating children. They're not one of these people that like spends a lot of it on awareness.
He goes on and on about it.
Hold on,
Nobody
wait,
cares
just a quick
about
thing.
this.
If you want to do this with other people, that's fine.
He nailed what he's doing.
Yeah.
Destiny. Like he's here.
No interest in the manipulator tactics. That whole like, check this, you can check this and verify this. And
No,
being
I'm
so
asking.
truthful.
I'm genuinely
sure,
asking.
no,
you
you don't
if
need to
I'm
ask
wrong.
me. Hold on, you don't need to ask me to verify the authenticity of St. Jude's. I'm sure that information is publicly available. I'm not here to offer you any condolences or to make you feel better or to appease you by asking me nonsense questions like that in order to seek sympathy
It's
or
not a
assurance.
nonsense
That's absolutely not what
question. I'm saying I don't want to accidentally lie anymore. I'm just
Accidentally lie.
You didn't accidentally lie.
Yeah, you never.
So again, Boogie is he's trying to like play nice with Destiny, and you always notice that at first Boogie, whenever he tries to explain or tries to give some sort, he always goes for the sympathy route. He's very much a victim complex oriented person. He'll try to play nice. He'll try and like play on your pity for him, just so you'll feel bad and you'll be nice to him. But again, the thing I'm noticing about him is that he always does that whenever he wants pity. I said it correctly. He has a big victim complex, and that is just his way of trying to like wiggle his way out of arguments and earn favor with somebody. And Destiny right here does a really great job of kind of calling him out on it and not really playing into what he's going for. So sorry.
You didn't accidentally lie before. You intentionally lied multiple times. You said you had a confirmed cancer diagnosis. You lied about that. You said you were looking at Vera on the document. You lied about that. These were all confirmed lies.
It is my understanding that St. Jude's uses 100% of the money given. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, people will think it's a lie. So I'm just trying to be extra careful.
That's so ridiculous.
No, that's fine.
but
What
we're
you just said
backing
before
up to,
about
like,
accidentally lying, you weren't accidentally lying. You were. That's why it's called a lie. You can't accidentally lie. That's just called being wrong. You intentionally lied before.
In the video, I was told by my doctor that I have polycythemia vera, and we're treating you for polycythemia vera.
He might have uttered those.
So again, essentially just now, Boogie's trying to make himself look, I guess, official or look good in terms in telling Destiny, hey, you could, I'm doing this money. You guys can look into St. Jude's. And Destiny's like, no, dude, like, I don't need to look into St. Jude's. Like everyone and their grandmother knows who St. Jude's is. Yes, it's a very respectable and great organization. Yeah, we know that. You don't need to, horse around with us pretty much. So again, I feel like that was a great job by Destiny, kind of calling him out on it and just, I don't know. The dude's a habitual liar, and you will see so much of that here. So the next one at 2:07:15. So essentially, right here is we get the big admittance of Boogie. Boogie essentially kind of comes clean and just says, "Yeah, I've been lying about this for pity and for money and to scam people, to beg people, oh, if you donate or if you buy this crypto, I scammed you with this crypto scheme, but don't worry, all that money's going towards my medical issue, my cancer that I lied about." It's the dude's completely ridiculous. So yeah, here's just proof of how big of a liar he
And
is.
that's how he came up with the cancer.
This is it.
You intentionally lied before.
In the video, I was told by my doctor that I
That's
have
where we were.
polycythemia vera, and we're treating you for polycythemia vera.
He might have uttered those words, maybe. He might, I know, I'm sure he said polycythemia, maybe. And he might have even said polycythemia vera. He never told you that you had cancer, though.
That's fair. That's true.
That's fair.
I had to Google that.
After all of this time of the last week or two, people claiming that he's lying about all of this crap, the second he sits down with the debate lord, who's someone who's smart enough to accurately call him out on anything, he's like, yes, that's fair. And then this is so funny. Everyone's laughing. Keemstar's got a stupid look on his face. We'll go back.
That you had cancer, though.
That's fair. That's true. I had to Google that.
Yeah, look at Kim.
Which is what we thought.
God. Yeah.
The thing is that somehow the combination of Destiny and Boogie, like Boogie can't lie out of the Destiny's questions for some reason. I don't know. I think it's because he seems to be like knowledgeable about this, and so every time Boogie tries to like manipulate, Destiny's like getting him right back on track, and
He's really good at
he's
manipulating.
revealing that he's just lying nonstop. He just can't help but lie. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
This part is great.
Keemstar cracks me up through
Yeah.
he's just like in utter shock throughout this whole thing. At least, yeah, I don't know.
This is what you wanted,
Yeah.
man. I don't buy this act that it's like, oh, this is such a tragedy,
It's
and
totally
I
an
have to fire
act.
Buggy.
It's an act.
This is what you wanted.
No.
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 That's why it's called a lie. You can't accidentally lie. That's just called
Oh,
being
we're
wrong.
back.
Polycythemia vera, and we're treating you for polycythemia vera.
He might have uttered those words, maybe. He might, I know, I'm sure he said polycythemia, maybe. And he might have even said polycythemia vera. He never told you that you had cancer, though.
That's fair. That's true. I had to Google that.
I googled it.
Which is what we thought.
God.
That's what we thought.
So again, he basically admits that his doctor, he had been claiming that his doctors had said that he had polycythemia vera, but at the same time in prior conversations, whenever he would say that, he would also say, my doctor said I had the traits of polycythemia vera, or I had the code, or I had symptoms of this. And then it's basically turning out as everyone thought. He had taken this information from his doctors, and he went to Google and just somehow convinced himself that he does have this, or he has straight up been lying, which I think is more likely. Is the proper case, is that he's just been lying to gain sympathy from people. Or markers. That's what he had been saying. My doctor said I had the markers for polycythemia vera, and it's like, no, dude, you have the mark. And then you'll see even later on, he admits that, like, I remember there was some section where he had said that due to my doctor's recommendations for a healthy diet and lifestyle changes, that I've gotten better. And people call him out where they're like, dude, you can't treat cancer with lifestyle changes. That just means that you're treating your, I'm a fat guy as well. You're just treating your obesity. You're just treating your fatness. By being fat is not... Cancer can't be treated by just health. I mean, maybe you could treat some of the symptoms with health style changes, but your cancer doesn't go away because you start eating broccoli, broccoli and peas. Okay.
At the
He
beginning, he
Googled
probably
it at
told you
home
you
and
have
then
elevation
made
of
that
the
video.
polycythemia. You probably Googled that. You might have thought that he said vera. Maybe he fucked up and said vera, but he never said cancer. He never said cancer.
Polycythemia vera many times. Many times.
Oh my God!
This is
What
very
just
fitting.
happened? What just happened? Your doctor did not tell you you had cancer?
Correct.
Well-
That's why this was the very first question I asked when I came on your show 3 or
Again-
4 days ago, because I knew that you
Again,
were
my basal cell carcinoma got referred to as a carcinoma, right? They call it by the name of what it is.
Oh
They don't
my
break
God,
it down
bro.
in layman's terms. My doctor never did. He just told me what he's treating.
I never did.
Never did.
I never did.
You have to be
What's happening here? Did he realize like what he said was like so
And
fucked
look-
up? He has to walk it back a little bit.
We watched the whole thing.
Okay, so that was one section. So the next one is a good one to understand, because in this one, Boogie kind of explains his money usage. And again, it further kind of shows us just, he's trying to wiggle his way out of, the scam and all the money I'm taking is going straight to my cancer and everything. And it's like, no, dude, we've been thinking you've been lying this whole time. What else? What are you actually doing with your money? I think around this time he also says that he has like a big trip coming up, and it's like, oh well, yeah, that's where the scam money's going. I felt like this was just the best way because I had timestamps and everything, and I felt like it was the easiest way to, I don't know, kind of quickly and
Let's see, Boogie, talk
accurately
about what he's
show
paying
everything
for
that's
with the
super
money he
important.
scammed with. Because he's been saying he's spending on medicine. Well, what are you spending it on then?
polycythemia vary. There's different codes.
What's a unique treatment right now that you're taking for polycythemia vera that wouldn't apply to secondary polycythemia?
I don't know.
You're the one that said that you had to pay for all the medications. Didn't you say the cancer treatment was expensive? Well, what's the cancer treatment that you're paying for? What's the unique expensive cancer treatment?
We are doing monthly blood tests, which is expensive.
Blood test is like
That is not
$35.
cancer treatment.
By the way,
Yeah, monthly blood tests are not cancer treatment. They'll explain it, but dude, that is not cancer treatment. You getting monthly blood. Again, the biggest problem and something I'll hammer on a lot is that everything this guy says is wholly unreliable and untrustworthy. I honestly don't know if there's anything about this guy that should be believed about any aspect of his life other than the obvious stuff, and that's like the him holding the gun at the crazy fan he told to come to his house, or him being obese, like super obvious stuff, him being a gamer or former gamer, I don't know. I should also say that like it's wholly if you guys don't notice his background that he's been having back in the day, his old YouTube stuff that he doesn't do anymore, and even not even that long ago, but he used to be in his game room and he would have like his arcade machines, or he'd have all of his Zelda toys and all that stuff, World of Warcraft stuff in the background. And if you notice, he's totally changed to a different room, or he's hiding all that stuff, making it seem as though like, because I think what he's worried about with there is he's worried about people calling him out and being like, dude, if you have all these issues and these problems, you should probably sell all of that crap so that you have money to pay for the issues that you have. And it's like, he would never do that. I don't know. As an adult baby myself who has all of this crap behind me I don't want to sell, I understand it to an extent, but like, I'm not over here claiming that I have cancer, or that I have, I can't afford my mortgage and all this crap. That I'm not doing. Sorry. Dog's making noise. Okay. So I lost where my trail of thought. Let's continue here.
A blood test is like $30.
Yeah,
If at all.
I think it's like 15.
I feel like you almost don't even pay for it, I think.
Yeah, it depends on your health insurance.
Yeah.
But at worst, it's going to cost you like $30.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Blood
a
test
blood
for
test wouldn't be
anything. What
for
do you mean?
cancer check.
I don't know. They're $70 a pop.
I do blood tests as well.
Okay,
and
so
that's a
even at $70,
Okay.
it's not.
But that is not cancer
Okay,
treatment.
So this is
No, no.
so I'm just to be clear, that was another lie. Okay, hold on. I just want to say for people, just for people that listen, because this is such common.
monthly blood tests specifically
for this. You're such a you're a horrible person.
Monthly, so you
You're a
spend
horrible
$70
person.
a month.
Talk to yourself.
Can you
You're
pause it for a
bad
sec?
person. You're a
You know what's
horrible-
funny? Because he spent this whole time being like, I'm a terrible person. I'm the worst. And then as soon as Destiny gets on, he goes, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. You're a terrible person.
Oh yeah, okay. So, again, almost any time this guy is pressed by somebody who, can actually thoughtfully debate and argue, he's just like, and I don't know. He resorts to you'll see he resorts to just being loud, and again, I actually think Keemstar is getting what he wanted out of this podcast, and I actually think I was wrong on the last episode when I had said that like. I'm like, oh, they're calling everyone the Lol Cow podcast, and they don't know that they're actually the Lol Cow. And I freaking dog. And I actually think that they know Keemstar must know what he has. Like, it's totally the opposite. Keemstar knows that him and Boogie are like the Lol Cows. He knows that them being the butt of every joke is kind of the point of the podcast. And I should say, I'm not gonna glaze up freaking Keemstar too much. I don't like the guy, but like, he's got entertaining content on his hands right now. I have been wholly watching all of this saga with Boogie, and this is the first time I can say Keemstar has some entertaining content on his hands at the moment. So do that with what you will. But yeah, okay. So moving on. Let's see. So in a weird way, Boogie starts to deflect and attacks Destiny.
No, you're a bad person.
You'll see.
You're a horrible, abusive.
So you see here, he talks about a fireman. So essentially what Boogie is bringing up here is Destiny, as of late, has been under fire a little bit for saying that he doesn't care about the dude that got shot, at the political Trump rally thing. Again, I'm not delving into all that. But Destiny has been getting some heat for talking about how he doesn't care about that guy. And Boogie essentially, for some reason, is kind of turning things around on Destiny. And he's essentially deflecting and telling him that he just like bringing up how crappy of a person that he thinks Destiny is. And And it's like, dude, none of us this whole topic isn't about Destiny. Like, this whole thing's about you. So again, kind of showing you how manipulative he is and how crappy he is.
Goddamn Trump office, okay? I'm sorry that I didn't make the choice of no, I'm sorry.
It would take so bad.
Smear you.
Keep going.
You mocked a man.
You can smear me. I did. Listen,
you
20 volunteer firemen wouldn't be able
Fireman, you mocked a fireman.
to put out the fire that is your life right now, Boogie.
You listen, I might be a piece of shit. My dad, who died of cancer, also was a fucking volunteer fireman, by the way. Okay?
So he's trying to high road
He's trying to
Destiny
deflect.
because Destiny's been getting like mega canceled by every conservative for saying he doesn't give a fuck about the guy who died, which is whatever. You know what I mean? But he's
this
trying
is,
to high road him.
and they're gonna say it. They're like, this is about you. Don't try to deflect
Yeah.
right now.
No, no, no,
Yes, yes.
no, no.
Yes,
no,
yes.
no.
Yes, yes. Fuck yes.
I don't know.
And
how to
this
end
man was, I believe, a father. I believe was a husband, and he was only exercising his American fucking right.
It's so
to
ridiculous.
Why are you deflecting to this?
He's just the high roading is insane. It's like Destiny did not kill him. I don't know if you're aware of that.
You lied about cancer. Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
Because
Why
this
are you
man
just deflecting to something else?
He was a good American, and I love America. America's the greatest country on earth. It's like, okay, dude.
I
Smeared
hear
me.
you. Yeah, you
I'm
are.
going to
You
remind
can't even
the
address
audience
any.
what this piece of shit does. What this piece of shit uses his platform to do. This piece of
Okay.
shit
Thank you.
uses
You know
his
what? You know what? I find what
Clear.
Destiny said inflammatory, but this is a clear deflection.
I'm exclusively watching Keem's box during all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
impressed by his
just at all.
restraint, just shutting up.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, just showing you the lengths at which that Boogie's willing to go to deflect and I don't know, just totally derail a conversation when it's like, dude, no one cares about that right now. No one's talking about that right now. We're focused on you, and I don't know, wholly hilarious. I feel like. So we'll go here, and on this next clip, we'll begin to see Boogie like attempt to attack Destiny furthermore, and I don't know. It's super funny. Where are we at here?
This video.
110%. I rushed to the fucking internet to play victim because I was told I have polycythemia vera, which was a form of cancer.
How are you playing
Later,
victim?
My doctor treated me for it, but he told me until we get a test and know for
This
sure.
man, like 10 minutes ago, said that you're right. The doctor never told me I
Yeah.
had cancer.
And then Destiny's asking, what is the treatment you're getting? And all he said is blood test.
Again, we're getting another admittance. So he admits twice in one episode.
Because I have
Yeah.
cancer.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things that they could be checking in his blood that's not cancer related. I mean, like anybody, frankly.
All right.
We're not going to treat. We're going to treat you as if
Did
you
you
have.
call
it. And I
Boogie
rushed to.
Bussy at some point?
People are saying you called him Bussy.
I didn't catch that, but the chat is all
Didn't
saying
hear it.
you said
Bussy?
Bussy.
That's funny. We go to the next timestamp if you want.
No,
Okay.
No.
No.
I like where this is
No,
going.
because I wanted to
No,
play
no.
victim. I wanted the fucking attention. It was 2 years ago. It was a shitty thing to fucking do.
Again, he admits that he wanted the attention. It's like, dude. I don't even want to. I even hate calling myself a like. I am technically a content creator, but I don't feel like I have the clout and the pull that other people are. So I feel weird like clumping myself with other content creators just yet. Maybe if I gain more popularity, okay. Again, though, Boogie says that he wants the attention and that he was doing it for clout or for notoriety of some sort, of for people to pay attention to him. And it's like, Boogie, if you want attention and if you want clout, all you have to do, you had a YouTube channel with like millions of subscribers and viewers. All you have to do is go to your dang YouTube channel and upload shorts or upload videos or stream yourself gaming. Like, what is the problem? Like this, again, as a fat guy, this dude is so incredibly lazy that like he wants to get paid and to pay his mortgage by just being a lol cow. And it's like, dude, you're willing to be so his laziness is so incredibly deep that he's willing to claim he has cancer to make money. I mean, I don't want to say I understand, but like if you're a nobody or something, okay, I guess, but no, not even. I don't want to act like it's okay if you're a nobody, but like that's more understandable than if you're a big content creator who has made money in the past doing this. Dude, all you have to do is create a Patreon. Go to create content that people want to watch. Like, yeah, technically now he's doing that with the LolCow podcast, but he's so incredibly lazy that all he has to do is turn on Discord and turn on his camera, and Keemstar and all of them take care of everything. He's like just the laziest piece of crap. Like, come on, man. Again, saying he did all this for attention when it's like it's the worst kind of way of wanting attention, is claiming you have cancer. It's pretty low, in my opinion. Again, all right, that's the point I had before.
Shitty thing to fucking do. I did it. I'm a piece of shit. But there can be two pieces of shit here. And that's all I'm saying.
That's true.
No one's denying
He's
that.
not wrong.
I'll gladly play the villain or be the villain. All I'm saying is that all the other stuff you've been confronted on this slide, and if you spend enough time in a room, I can unravel your whole life, okay? Because you lie very poorly,
You're
okay?
the worst manipulators I've ever met. I've seen your. I've never really watched you before this. But I've watched you since this bullshit. I've seen you try to fucking deflect. I've seen you try to manipulate. You're everything that you see in me. You're everything that you see in me. You are a piece of human garbage, man. Piers Morgan's right. Piers
You
Morgan.
want to? You'd like to
So pathetic. What he's trying to do.
Boogie.
Just
You
complete
lied about
deflection.
Yeah, come on, man.
For 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care what Piers Morgan said about Destiny. At this exact moment, I'm not interested in that. So that's good. We love about him.
Wait, hold on. If you'd like to levy accusation on me, you could be another person in a long line of people who have lost their.
Oh, okay. So moving on from that one, I think I'm on to that one. So let's go to 220.06, and here is a really hilarious section because Boogie essentially attacks Destiny for being a nerd in a weird way. When it's like, dude, come on, Boogie, your original content was about as nerdy as it gets, and this is just like the most incredibly funny stuff. And then he also blames his doctor, and also is subtly stereotypical.
This comment, I was like, dude, what? Listen to this.
Like,
Can I finish a single sentence?
No, you can't. I want to say, listening to you talk is like, you are one of the nerds I would have thrown out of a Magic the Gathering.
Can I get?
He says, you are one of the nerds I would have thrown out of a Magic Gathering again.
That is the single lamest sentence I have
Dude,
ever heard
nerd
in
on
my
nerd
life.
violence.
This man went anti-nerd on Destiny. I would have shoved you in a locker, bro. Like, Boogie, what the fuck are you doing? Shut up.
I think it's never been this clear to me how much of a pathological liar he is and a manipulator.
Yeah.
Am I able to change mine?
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Crazy. It's so
pretty
crazy.
good. It's pretty good.
I just need like 1 minute to explain it. I keep ranting. He's trying to.
I will play. I'm going to play moderator just
Okay,
so
sure,
we
that's
can get
fine.
a little back and forth. We'll let Dustin.
Okay, hold on. This part was my favorite. This was so fucking funny in the context of everything he's been saying. He says here, he had to change doctors recently, which complicated things. Why did he change
I was
doctors?
like, what does that mean?
And when you asked him, he didn't tell you that it was a blood cancer. He just memed on you.
He didn't memed on me? What the fuck? He's a doctor.
Yeah, a doctor that would tell you you have fucking cancer. If you ask, what is this thing that's a blood cancer?
Number one, and I'm gonna be. This is very rude of me here.
Be rude.
This doctor doesn't speak very good English. That's why I don't see him anymore.
Oh, was there Dr. Gupta?
I gotta say, that's such a hilarious throw in from Mutahar, who's like, at this point when I first watched the podcast, I forgot Muta was even there. And then to throw out the Dr. Gupta, I was laughing incredibly hard. I don't even remember where I was watching this. I might have been at the airport or something, but incredibly funny, this whole thing. And he's even doing an Indian accent for his doctor. It's
The doctor
just
that
great.
diagnosed him with cancer does not speak English well.
Well, there we go.
Now we know
Hold on, I gotta hear that again for Muta.
If you ask, what is this thing that's a blood cancer?
Number one, and I'm gonna be. This is very
Is
rude
Dr.
of me
Gupta?
here. This doctor doesn't speak very good English. That's why I don't see him anymore.
Oh, was there Dr. Gupta?
The doctor that diagnosed him with cancer does not speak English well.
Well, there we go.
He
Now
has
we know
trouble-
what went wrong.
He keeps coming up with
Yeah.
lies even now.
I can't understand what he says, so I just changed doctors.
And
Oh
that's
my
why he
God.
didn't know he had cancer for sure, because he didn't understand the English.
I love he's like, that's very rude of me to say.
It's insane, actually. But he understood his English good enough to understand like a very complicated long word,
Yeah.
Familius Verus, whatever you call it.
You can understand that.
Yeah. Like he understood that complicated
my
phrase enough to
God.
like remember, go home and Google it. That's crazy.
I don't think it was an Indian accent.
Wait, hold on. He doesn't speak good English. His English is so bad that you couldn't understand what he was like telling you enough, but you could hear him enough to hear polycythemia and
That's
Google.
what I said.
I made him repeat it because I'm like, I don't understand what that is. And he goes, well, this is your red blood cell count is high. Your red blood, we have to do this.
He's doing
Your red
like
blood
a-
cell count is high.
Your red blood cell count high.
Boogie, stop.
Your red blood cell count high.
Dude. Come on. This is beyond.
Yeah.
This is the greatest piece of content the internet
It
produced.
is. It is.
Boogie's a piece of shit for lying, but goddamn is this entertaining.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't buy the
never
whole.
been funnier.
All right, so I know the sections are getting longer, so I have one more last section, one more little video from the podcast. I guess technically I'm showing 2 podcasts. I should also say, now that I'm here, shout out H3 Podcast. You know, I'm luckily they're fairly good about people using their content. I'm trying my best to change the content or whatever. But yeah, so let's go to 2839, my last section. So essentially here, I will say content warning or graphical warning to anyone who may be kind of queasy or may not like self-harm or any like thoughts of self-harm or any talk about it. This is kind of sensitive material here, so Boogie is a manipulator. Boogie is a liar. He kind of gets further pressed by Destiny, and then he kind of turns to going and getting a knife and claiming that he may harm himself or something, and everything completely breaks down here. And again, language warning as well. There's lots of cursing and threats of self-harm. So just so you know, but nothing luckily happens. Here is the end of the Lolcow podcast, or the perceived end.
I'm just saying they're watching this right now.
Oh, things are speeding right along.
That one still gives me like the cringe physical shivers.
Yeah,
I should
that
speed
was
this up
that wasn't
too.
made in jest. That was a serious comment you made.
Speed it up further.
I'm just saying there are probably people out there watching this right now who are struggling with suicidal impulses. And if you're one of them, stick it out. That's all I'm trying to say.
You're not. Shut up. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. You were never suicidal. You love yourself way too much. Okay. You're way too narcissistic. You would never be suicidal. You let the world burn to ashes around you before you even consider hurting yourself
Yes.
any more than.
Great point.
That was too mean. But no, yeah, like.
That was too mean.
I don't self-harm. I don't self-harm.
Oh.
Okay, well that was what my job was gonna be. I shouldn't eat more than stuffing your mouth full with a cheeseburger. Like that's what I was gonna say. But yeah, if you want to say yeah.
It is self-harm, motherfucker. That's why people like to do it. It is a form of self-harm, motherfucker. That's why we do it. If you see a 400-pound man, if you see a 400-pound woman, guess what? They do it because they're self-harming, because there's something wrong in their fucking brains. I'm not talking about if you're a little bit fat like Muda carrying around an extra 20 pounds or whatever.
Hey, why is Muda getting shots over here? Come on, what's going on? I thought that was so funny when I watched it live. I was laughing wherever I was. I don't remember, but the fact that shots fired at Muda, who's just like chilling in the bottom, who has only like said like 3 words. So funny. All right.
Oh, by the way, just for the record, he said in this, he might hate Muda even more than he hates Destiny.
They'll explain why he hates
I
Muda.
don't really know what happened between them. I was never.
Yeah,
followed
It's
that.
related to. So I don't know what happened, but apparently Keemstar had a party at his house in which Muda and Boogie were there, and something happened where Muda was like, something happened there. That was. There's clips of it, isn't there?
And there's just one clip of them sitting together. I don't think there's clips of the actual thing that they're talking about, but I think Muda made a comment about his girlfriend. He said something like who you abducted or some shit. He referenced her being young.
Oh shit! I was just typing to you if you have that clip.
I didn't include that one. I forget why. I think because it was like too much cursing or something, but I could see if I could find it. But
That comment was so funny.
yeah, and then Boogie was pissed off and he went off at that point. But they also said that she was too drunk or something, like she had too much to drink. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So anyway, there was something happened at Keem's house.
I think we should watch that one comment
Let me
if
see if I
we
can find
can,
it,
because
yeah.
it's so funny.
All right. In the meantime.
About that. I'm talking about the people that eat themselves to fucking death. We do it because something's wrong, dipshit. It's a
I think
form
what's
of
happening. I
self-harm.
think you do it because the food tastes really good and exercise.
No, and that's one of the worst parts about it. I don't even like the taste of food anymore.
Honestly, bro.
If you don't like the taste of food, why drink diet?
Why do you miss it?
instead of just drinking water?
Because it's a form of self-harm. Because I'm destroying
You
my
drink
body.
Diet Mountain. You go to the store. You spend money on a drink that you apparently don't like just to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You know what? It's way cheaper, right?
Thank
Like
you.
one razor blade will last you a lifetime.
I used to cut.
Okay.
Very kind of a piss poor joke there from Destiny. Again, I never acted like I liked Destiny. I haven't really consumed any of his content. I know he constantly gets in trouble for saying kind of crappy things. So again, he's not like somebody I would like defend or anything. Again, I didn't think that was a very good joke. kind of in a poor taste, I would say. I think most people would probably say, but all right, let's continue on.
Chill out a little bit on that, Destiny.
I don't like it. And you're encouraging people to cut? Go. I used
Bro, what are we talking about right now? I can't pick anything, but I drink aspartame soft drinks.
Encouraging people to cut their
Jesus
fucking arms.
Christ.
That's what I fucking heard. The guy who laughed at fucking Donald Trump's assassination attempt is telling people to cut fucking arms.
I love how just he's so ethical about, you know, when it comes to Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's very. Now he's on a high horse.
Fact, my
now
dentist
he's
diagnosed me with HIV yesterday. Like some prayers, please.
holier
That's a
than
comment from the
thou.
video. That's good.
Hold it.
People are saying that blood tests are $200 if you have bad insurance. Okay, well, even
I guess
still,
he said 70.
even still, he says that he was
Alright,
spending.
we're almost done with
$2,000
the clips,
on
guys.
cancer
So
treatment, or $5,000.
Not-
stick with
I
me.
don't
I
know
got
if
like
it
a
was
minute
honest,
or two.
but he was saying that he's
I
spending.
think
a
there
lot
was
on
something
treatment.
else here that I wanted to
What is
show.
the treatment?
A monthly blood test.
Like, there's no way you don't know that kind of stuff if you're going through cancer treatment.
Oh yeah, the
Yourself.
actual
saying
breakdown.
that you're wasting your money on
I'm just
Diet
saying, cut
Dr.
yourself.
Mountain
I'm
Dew
just
over the
saying,
fuck.
oh, you want to see that? Hold on. Okay, I'll do it. Give me 30 seconds.
No,
Holy
wait,
shit, the
whoa,
next
what is he
era
doing?
of Boogie
Don't-
self-harm.
Oh, God.
No, he's waiting for you to tell him to stop. That's what he's doing. He's waiting.
Well, I'm falling for it. You better not do nothing fucking stupid.
You know that episode of South Park where like Cartman's like, I've got.
Just to give a warning, I don't think this is serious at all. His whole posture and mannerism shows that he's not serious at all about this, and he's just being dramatic. But he does hold up a knife, and you know that it does happen here.
And then Kim cuts it.
And Kim cuts it off, which is all very good.
He's like, I got this cancer, bro. Now I can make tons of views, and I can.
Yeah. Like imagine like after Googling it.
Do not do anything with that knife. No,
We don't
no,
think-
no.
on.
No.
Oh, by the way, just to explain, he's just holding it up.
He's just holding it up, yeah.
Nothing. He doesn't do anything with it.
No,
Right?
no,
No, we
no,
don't.
no, no,
No,
no.
we do.
No,
This is so much better than eating a
Wait,
sandwich.
right now.
So much better than eating a sandwich,
Put
Destiny.
that away right now.
You piece of shit.
Okay.
Oh no, I want the. I need the.
It's in there.
The no.
It's the last one.
Kim was definitely actually scared. He would have never ended that call if
If it wasn't actually worth.
he wasn't worried about his channel getting in
Yeah.
trouble. Not that Boogie was gonna hurt himself. I don't think anyone thought that.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. No. 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 Fucking no. No. Oh, what the fuck?
All right, everybody. Well, I think also I don't know if I explained it again. At some point during the video, Keemstar has said that Boogie 2988 as of right now is fired from the podcast. He's technically no longer a part of it, and it's only Wings. Him and Wings are now the only two people a part of the podcast, and it's like, dude, that is nowhere that there's no way that's the case. Again, the whole point of this show, I think it's pretty blatantly obvious now, is that they are drama farming, and they are just doing whatever to get eyeballs on them. I can't say eyeballs. I think what's going to happen is Keemstar is going to fake fire Boogie, and then give it a week or two, and Boogie will be right back. And I don't know. I would find it hard to believe that they would cancel this. So I should say, I've gone on this plenty long enough. I feel like I've given you guys all of the context I could into this whole like Boogie situation. I'm sorry I went on too long. I think I showed a lot of clips, but shout out to the H3 podcast. I guess shout out to the Lockout Live, whatever. Yeah, this whole thing has been quite the saga, and I can officially say this is the last time I'll be talking Boogie 2988. I'm wholly uninterested after this to see any more of him. Again, he's no longer like a gaming channel or gaming anything, so I do feel like this is the very end of kind of my viewing of it. I'll probably still watch, because I still watch the H3 on the side, so if anything happens, I'll be watching it, but I'm most certainly not interested in talking about it. But yeah, I guess down in the comments, let me know, what do you guys think of Boogie 2988? Are you still fans of his for some reason? I don't know. What do you guys think of the Lockout Live as well? I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I'll repeat, as much as I dislike Keemstar and I don't think he's made any good content up to date, this is probably the first time I could say he's got a decent show on his hands at the moment. We'll see what happens, because I guarantee you it's not going to be just him and Wings doing the show from here on out. The Boogie is such a, I don't know, I guess at this point now Boogie and Keemstar are synonymous, I guess. That's a weird thing to say. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of this topic. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. In fairly big news in the world of kind of television and movies and stuff, oh shoot, let me go to move over. The company Paramount has decided that it's sorry, it is going to merge with the other movie studio company, Skydance. So, kind of reading up on it, just so you guys know, these two companies are very close in terms of value, in terms of their net worth. I think I read something like Paramount's worth like almost $8 billion, and then Skydance is worth like $4 or $5 billion. So they're pretty close in terms of like power and you know, again, and their net worth and everything. I think the big difference between the two companies. I should also say we're gonna jump right into some of these other topics. I feel like I spent a lot of time on the Boogie one, so we'll rapid fire through these other ones. But yeah, if you don't know, Skydance is another movie studio. I looked into some of the movies that both of these companies have made over the years, and I'll be honest, in my opinion, Skydance has not made a heck of a whole lot that I really cared about or that I think was incredible or anything. Now, Paramount, of course, is a huge company, been around for, you know, decades and decades. You'd be hard pressed to find some movies in their catalog that you didn't like or that you know, that weren't like considered great. I think I read they had been responsible for movies like Top Gun and The Godfather and many other things. So they're a big company. So essentially, I'm not going to get into some of the specifics with this topic because I'll be honest, some of these articles that I'd found were really focused in on like the families behind these companies, and I'll be honest, I don't give two licks about the families. I'm more interested in what exactly the companies have planned for the future. So yes, one big thing about the company is apparently there's this family called the Redstone family who had essentially had a run of a really long time in owning Paramount, and apparently it's kind of a big deal in the industry that now all of a sudden they're still going to be working, they're still going to be kind of like largely owning, but now they don't have free reign in terms of what happens with the company. So that's kind of a big deal with them and Skydance. From what I understand, Paramount has been really struggling late, them and their Paramount Plus and some of their movies. So this injection of money with the help of Skydance, they're hoping kind of helps elevate them a little bit. This new entity between the two companies, from what I understand, is gonna set them somewhere around $28 billion, and I think it's expected to close around, what was it, September 2025. So really interesting to see where things kind of go from here. I had already read that Paramount or Skydance had already pitched some other ideas with Paramount in terms of what they're gonna do and what they want to put on with Paramount Plus. From what I understand, this also was a deal that had been pitched to Paramount from Skydance in the past, and apparently they had turned it down, but I guess, you know, things were looking kind of rough, so they kind of changed their mind. So yeah, what this means for Paramount is really interesting. Apparently, from what I understand, for like a little more than a decade, Paramount has been kind of lagging in terms of the quality of the movies and stuff that they have going on. More particularly, not particularly, something that had kind of held them up and was a big boon was Top Gun Maverick. Apparently that's probably been the most successful thing that they've made in quite a while. It made something like $1.5 billion worldwide, which very successful, very big hit for them. But in terms of other things, they haven't had a heck of a whole lot that's really like broken into like has been like the movie of the summer or anything like that. I think I also read that they put the one good thing that they did is early on with some of the Marvel movies, they had assisted in making some of those movies, so they like Iron Man and some of that. So they've done things, but just I don't know. Apparently they just haven't been doing all that well. And also from what I understand with Paramount Plus, I don't think a lot of the Star Trek stuff has been all that particularly well received. If you pay attention to like Red Letter Media or Angry Joe or any other people that kind of cover some of that, I think the Critical Drinker, was that another one? I don't remember. He's like a whole character was a TV show reviewer, but yeah, I don't think anyone who is like a big fan of Star Trek has liked any of that. Now, again, I don't really care too much about the families and all that stuff. I just kind of care about what this means for Paramount and just kind of what Paramount Plus and what they got going on here. So we could be expecting some big changes to Paramount Plus. We'll see. I'm kind of curious. Will there be price increases? Most definitely not going to be a price decrease. That's for sure. But yeah, I think I also read that a big thing that was hurting them was they had a lot of movies that have been pushed out of this year and pushed into 2025, like oh, what's the Tom Cruise movie? Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible and a couple other movies have been pushed back, which kind of hurts them. But I actually think what's something else I want to kind of dive into that kind of piggybacks off of this story and this topic is if you guys, anybody here, hands up, not me, any hands up, anybody here who's a fan of the Halo TV show? I sure as heck no, I am not. This is actually something I've been trying to get, maybe now that it's canceled, I might try and get my buddy Phoenix, try and get him on a podcast or something, maybe we could talk about it. But, yeah, if you don't know, the Halo TV show has finally been canceled. I say finally because I think this is well deserved. I think this show should have been put to rest a long time ago. But yeah, essentially from what I understand, they decided to pull the plug. Apparently, it hadn't been doing too well. I know on my end, I don't know a lot of people that really were like watching it. Actually, you know what? Personal story. I do know somebody that was watching it in a weird way. Me. Nerd of the highest order, Halo fan of the highest order. I didn't give two licks about this show and what they had going on, but someone I did know that was watching this was my mom, and I remember seeing something that people saying that like, this is a video game show for your parents, and I really feel like that kind of hits home what the show was doing, in my opinion. Had a very, in my opinion, a very boring story with boring characters. I don't think they did justice to many of the characters they had on there. They didn't do much that was interesting. They even ruined some of the villains. I don't think the Arbiter was that cool. I thought the Flood was fumbled. You had Master Cheeks showing his cheeks and just committing war crimes with people, and is about as bad, in my opinion, an adaptation. I mean, I'm sure there's way worse, but it was not a good one for me. But yeah, that's kind of all I have going on. I mean, there was a couple other things. Apparently, some publications report that the show's producers are still shopping it. They're going to be shopping it around to see if they can perhaps get a third season. From what I've heard, maybe keep an eye out for Netflix. Maybe this is something that Netflix would be willing to pay a very small amount just to kind of, you know, Netflix loves just having content on their service. So I 100% think if it does come back, that could be something interesting to see. But actually, you know what? No, it's not interesting. I don't want to see this. I'm done with this. Especially if it's the same. Who was it? Wiener? James something Wiener? That's the person in charge of the show, I think. But yeah, no sob story for me. I for one am pretty happy that Halo's been kind of put to rest. It's especially a sad story when you consider all the names that were tied to Halo, like a decade ago in terms of a TV show or movie. I remember, like, you heard names like Steven Spielberg and Blomkamp, and you had like some of the top, like, sci-fi people that were tied to Halo at one point, and then like for it to turn around and just be thrown onto something like Paramount Plus, it's like, ugh, gross. You know, I'm not interested in any of that. But again, and also, you know, I'm not quite sure. Like, I want to say that the timing is weird on this. That the Halo show could be a victim to what's kind of going on with Paramount as a whole. But I also don't think the show was very good. So even if things were incredible for Paramount, would this still have been something they kept? I seriously doubt it. I think either way, this show was kind of doomed. Again, whenever I think you approach a show or movie like this, you shouldn't tailor it towards the layman or the non-fan or the family. You have to tailor it towards people that like really love the source material and really love the topic at hand, because those are the people that are gonna tout it. You know, it's like, I think that's why the Fallout show was so popular, is because they played it so close to the source material and the things that Fallout fans love. For the most part, it was all there, you know? Same thing with The Last of Us. I definitely think there are ways of doing it, and from what I remember, this show and these creators had no care or liking to doing any of that. I remember something about the Halo creators had said they had never played the games. Pablo Schreiber had like disdain for constantly keeping his helmet on. I remember that was like a thing where he wanted to have his helmet on as little as possible, and I remember a lot of the people seem annoyed at the fan criticism, and it's like, It's like, dude, you're gonna fail. If you criticize the fans, the people that actually care about your thing, like, sure, you might get like 10 moms out there or dads to watch this show when they're bored and they have nothing else to watch, but like, I don't know. That's my opinion. I would love to know down in the comments, what do you guys think about Paramount Plus and Skydance, and what do you think about Halo in general? Did you guys like it? I would love to know if there's anybody out there that did like the show. I was not a big fan of it myself. And another question is, would you guys like to see me and my buddy Phoenix return to the old podcast and do a topic on this? I know he recently said he would be down to do a topic on the Acolyte, which I know he watched and I'm currently watching right now, so I think you can expect some Acolyte content. Maybe you can get some Halo on there. And there was another show. Oh, The Boys. I would like to talk The Boys with him as well. So, yeah, a couple things on the radar. Sorry, Master Cheeks. Rest in peace. Okay, so final main topic that I wanted to hit on. Something about me that I used to be a really big fan of was sports games. Used to be, I should say. I haven't really been playing. Every now and then I'll go back and play some 2K or NBA 2K or like some golf game or something. But something I haven't really returned back to in like a decade, maybe more, is football. I felt like a long time ago, in my opinion, that like the Madden formula and the Madden games in general had kind of gotten stale, and I didn't think they were very good. So I probably haven't played the Madden since maybe like 2013, maybe like that. But something I have been kind of interested in that I kind of would like to look further into. But if you guys don't know, NCAA 25 has kind of been, what is it? It's like an early access that's kind of out right now. But apparently it's very, very popular. So let's go ahead and move on over. Yeah, so as reported from IGN, it looks like 2.2 million people were willing to pay $100 to play college football 25 3 days early, which is pretty interesting. I'm super skeptical and wary on this game, mainly because I'm excited because we haven't had an NCAA game in years. If you don't know, a lot of that reason is because of the pay, players wanting to get paid and EA not willing to do that, and plus all of the rights and everything for players. There's a lot of weird things kind of going on in there. But yeah, so all of that has been hashed out. I believe the players are kind of getting paid now, even though, from what I understand, it's only like really the top tier players receiving good money. But yeah, nonetheless, again, I'm waiting to see until the game fully releases and to see how people say it, because I'm worried that it's just Madden with the skin kind of thrown onto it, pretty much. But kind of looking deeper, it says an incredible 2.2 million unique players played college football 25 during its early access period, showing millions of people were willing to pay more to play the game early. Paying more for deluxe editions of games in order to get a head start on those who wait for the critical release has become the norm, with a number of AAA publishers selling early access as part of expensive editions of their games. College Football 25 is the latest to do it, granting 3 days of early access for a pre-order of $100. Goodness! Deluxe edition on PS5, Xbox Series X and S. So yeah, kind of interesting. A lot of people I don't know if people are more excited about it or if they're more curious because NCAA hasn't been around forever. I guess we'll have to see until the game's full release. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I am I'm tentatively excited for this game. I'll give it a few more days and kind of see how things are going. This is something I would like to play. I love football games. I love them when they're good. Like, I remember the Maddens from way back in the day. I would say the best Maddens, in my opinion, I would say would probably be around the mid-2000s. Like, when you got to, like, around 2004, 2005, 6, and 7, those Maddens were so good. And I think why they were good was because they, like, really supported franchise mode. I know that's something that a lot of they got rid of, like, almost completely. But, man, I used to play the heck out of, the fantasy serpentine franchise modes in Madden. And, yeah, I don't know. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, just my love for football games. Yeah. I loved those games. I loved my favorite football game of all time is actually NFL 2K5. If you guys haven't played that, I need to play it on the channel at some point. I can play that game anytime. They just it was just the perfect sports game in my opinion. But Yeah, just the more modern football games for me, they had just kind of lost. It's something that I don't think they ever quite really got was a lot of the physics and like mechanics. And even when I'm watching this, like some of the physics don't quite look right in terms of like that looks fine, but let's see what it looks like when he gets tackled out of bounds. That looked okay, but again, like that was the kind of stuff I hated. And then they were messing with all the game modes. Like if you remember, the old school Madden games had like mini camp and stuff like that, and you could do like one-on-one drills, and you could do like passing stuff. It was like really fun thing. You could do like the quarterback thing. You could like throw through. I remember there was like rings or something. It was super fun. So yeah, I don't know. So again, this is kind of something I would like to hear more from you guys. Are you guys excited for NCAA, or are you kind of in the same boat where you're kind of just curious about it like me, and you want to? I'm waiting to see if people just say it's just more Madden, because I love football games. We'll see what happens here. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this week. I guess last couple things I did want to kind of touch on. I think the movie Deadpool comes out within a week or two. That is something I'm definitely going to watch and kind of want to go see. And I actually saw in a trailer earlier that there was like a Lego Star Wars thing on Disney Plus, which is something I kind of want to check out. So yeah, we got some like cool content coming up. Hopefully some Deadpool, maybe some of that. I know, again, I'll bring it up, but I recently watched The Boys, The Acolyte. That's something I would like to talk about. And then I would like to return to Halo 2 at some point, or Halo Season 2. So, yeah. And, of course, I'm currently playing through Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, so you can check me out on there. Yeah, I think that wraps up this week. Yeah, I'm very glad to be back to this new series I kind of started. I was unable to due to vacation, but yeah, I think that kind of allowed me to kind of build up a small selection of other topics. There was another thing I kind of was interested in, that was the whole the internet, or the whole like crazy internet outage or whatever it was, software outage with Microsoft. But I don't know, I didn't feel like covering that one. But yeah, I don't know. Down in the comments, I mean, again, I would still like to know your guys' continued interest in this new video series, video kind of, I don't want to call it an essay series, because I feel like essay people kind of go deeper, but I don't know, just kind of my own personal way of kind of covering some of this stuff. But yeah, once again, I love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week, or maybe the week after. I still don't quite have that down. All right. Bye, everybody.